Hi, it's me again. So, you're probably going to hear the noises of a fan in the background. It's April. No, it's May. It's May right now, so, and I live in the Bible Belt, so it's starting to get warm already. Just cope with it, I guess, but, right. So, the last video that I had was kind of a confessional, and it was a rough introduction to the kinds of stuff that I want to be talking about, and go figure, I still don't have a plan for this video. I've had a bad day. I've had a long work week, and I've had a bad morning. I got broken up with. Well, no, it wasn't really a breakup. It was more like, I think I broke up with him. I think that's how it counts, but honestly, that's not what's upsetting me. Which I know sounds odd. It's just, I don't know, I kind of feel like I have bigger fish to fry. What am I being coy about? This is like an audio journal, anyway. Maybe I should talk about how I feel in this very moment, otherwise what's the point of it? Okay. It feels like I'm seeing something, and I'm coming upon a realization that's too small for everyone around, or not too small, too big for everyone around me. You know, it feels like I'm seeing something that no one else sees. And I know I'm not the first person to take a look at society and the state of the world and become misanthropic. I'm not the first person to become nihilistic. There's a reason that these things have names. Excuse me. I'm not unique in that regard. I'm not some genius, but when everybody else is entrenched in society and entrenched in culture, it feels that way, you know. And I was even having a conversation with a man that I was flirting with the other day, and I made a joke about having antisocial personality disorder, and he thought he was very clever, you know, and he was like, so you pathologize yourself with these archaic terms, and you use the DSM-5 to label yourself with a disorder, and you make your traits into problems that you advertise to people like disclaimers. Yeah, I could tell he felt very clever saying that, you know. Haha, this'll get him. Saneism. When I was younger, I had a nervous breakdown in the 7th grade, and I was having hallucinations, visual, auditory hallucinations, and I really wasn't sleeping a lot because I would have night terrors, and I'd wake up and I'd have paranoia, and it all compounded, and I had delusional thinking. It was a pretty scary time for like a 7th grader, and for 2 solid years when I was going in and out of treatment on many, many different antipsychotics and SSRIs and just cocktails of pharmaceuticals that no 14-year-old should have any business with. Everybody around me just treated me like I was a nut job. I had family members saying that I was faking it. I had school officials saying that I just needed more attention at home. And I will not forget the way that my school counselor looked at my psychiatrist looked at my school counselor when she said that I was just faking it for attention to get out of class. She looked at her like she had grown 2 heads, like she should never work with any child. Thank goodness for my psychiatrist, because like she really tried to advocate for me when the system that I was in, when the school that she worked for, when my family, when everyone was failing me. She was cool, and I was not always great to her. But, I remember being hospitalized, and I remember every time I'd have a breakdown or a panic attack or something, my family would just make me take medication, or they would send me to my mom. It felt like my mom was the only person that really accepted me. Honestly, though, I think it's because she was the only one that actually looked at me. And, yeah. Well, why do I bring all this up, right? It's just, you can only be unwell and mentally ill and all of that when you're a teenager. When you get older, you just gotta learn to cope. I remember telling my partner this not too long ago. I had a fever last year. No, earlier this year. I had a fever earlier this year. Last year. I don't know. But either way, it made me collapse. And my dad, he had been out with a friend, and he rushed home and saw me pale and unresponsive. And first thing that he asked me, "What'd you take? You gotta tell me what you took." Thought that I attempted suicide. Sometimes it's like everybody's just waiting. I don't even remember what my original intention for this point was. I feel like it just completely went off the rails. I'm going to a concert next week. I have an EP that's coming out soon. Please don't be under the impression that I'm just some like sad, worthless layabout, not doing anything with my life. I have a job. I make music. I have hobbies. I have relationships. I have friends. I'm not living the perfect American dream, but I feel like I'm doing everything right. I get exercise. I hydrate enough. Don't do drugs. I don't drink alcohol. I smoke. But that's about it. Everybody's got their thing, right? I'm trans, and I'm not out to anyone in my life other than one coworker, my sister sometimes when she remembers, and my partner, my online friends. But I don't despair over the fact that I can't be out to anyone. It just feels like it kind of is par for the course. Like, that's all I can expect. Is that fucked? Saying that out loud feels so fucked. It's like, why should everybody else, like, why do all these other trans people have this self-respect enough to, like, expect other people to respect them, and then I'm like, well, what can you expect? This world isn't a kind place. Is that my problem? I don't know. I mean, I know I've got a whole litany of problems, but... And I'm gay, by the way. And, I'm not always proud of those things. In fact, on my NeoCities account, my website, I even walk it back sometimes. But I've known that I was a man for, oh God, a better part of 6 fucking years. And I've been certain about it, and really certain about it for 2. Well, Alex, how can you... Oh, fuck. Well, I guess there's my name. You know it now. It's Alex. Alex, how can you know all that, be so certain, and then walk it back? How does anyone commit suicide? You know? How do you commit suicide? How do you do anything? How? You're probably second guessing yourself until the moment you fucking do it. Even women that are giving birth sit there and go, I can't do this. When it's far too late to walk it back. People are uncertain, okay? Get off my dick. My parents were a little bit dumb, somewhat neglectful, but they weren't abusive. Maybe a little bit. Not my dad, though. My mom, mostly. You know, like Christian raising. Don't spare your kids the rod, that kind of thing. But it's not like I'm fucked up about it. That's just part of life. Why is this my philosophy for so many things? I just accept shit at face value and go, oh well, I know why. It's just how I get on with it. I know why. You just have to accept shit. I mean, what is sitting here going over my fucking childhood going to do? I need to talk about something worthwhile. I need to talk about something worthwhile. What is worthwhile? I don't know. I wanted to be a writer. I wanted to be a musician, which I am. But I wanted to be a writer. I wrote poems and I submitted them to magazines and got rejected 20, 25, 30 times. Which is nothing, I think, compared to how many rejections most people take, but... I'm a failed poet. So, I have books I've written. Manuscripts, really. Books. Original prose. Horror. But I'm never gonna publish it. Might not even self-publish it. You know, some crappy Amazon author gig. I'm not doing that. I won't be that fucking person. So, I'm a musician. People like my stuff. They listen to it. You know? More people than I thought ever would. Not everyone's cup of tea, but I'm even starting to like it. which is saying something, because I don't know if you can tell by listening to me, but I don't really like much of anything I do. My family, extended family, listens to my music. And I thought, wow, jeez. You know, of course they don't like it, but they listen to it. They're just happy that I'm doing anything. That's about how it goes, right? Well, no one's happy with how I turned out, but I'm here. So they might as well be happy with whatever I'm doing. I think all the time, would it be any different if I had gone to school, gotten a career? Would it be any different if I had lost weight the way that my dad wanted me to when I was in elementary school? You know, with the self-control and the what's the word I'm looking for? This is fucking unbearable. Have I even said anything here worthwhile? I just want to be normal. I want to be like everybody else. And it feels like I'm always falling short. Like there's always something not enough about me. And I wish, because I keep seeing it everywhere. The older I get, the more I learn about myself. I keep seeing it everywhere. Am I just obsessed with myself? Well, I've been talking for almost 19 minutes by myself. I'm going to post it on the internet, so obviously I must be at least a little bit obsessed with myself.